Hey, you think they're going to remain consistent with what their criteria is for a ranking for the rest of the way, or do you think maybe there is a little bit of dodging and weaving that they're going to do to maybe pick who they want to pick?
Yeah, I think they're going to dodge, dip, dive, duck, and dodge this whole thing.
Okay.
Whatever they're feeling that week, it feels like potentially.
Yeah, it does feel like it's going to be loud, and maybe they do this on purpose. You know, there was an old. I hope everybody's all right there. You just choke into the microphone.
I almost did choke on the water right there.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I hope you're okay.
Thanks.
We heard.
Yep.
Yeah, we hope you're.
I was like,
We hope you're okay. There used to be something where, like, Dan Orlovsky would give a take, and we say, Dan clearly put one of those things out there just to stir the pot. Like, here's 4 actual things, and then there's one that is just, like, we think, I've never been told this is done by somebody who actually did it, but we as humans who take in content can realize that sometimes it seems like one of these things is strictly in here to stir shit, right? Like, it feels like this one is the attention seeker, and then you come into the other one and you do it. Feels like that has been a strategy that has been used by content creators, especially in the sports world, for a while now. Feels like that is something. Is that what the CFP committee is doing? Are they going to leave like one thing each week for people to get incredibly upset about? Like, I do wonder if that conversation, especially with Hunter back in charge, Hunter up in charge, like, all right, what do we need? Okay, so that's what we actually think. Now, we need to do something just to keep people kind of interested. Because what if they put one out that everybody agreed upon? Would that ever happen? Would that ever happen?
Not
though?
with college football fan bases, no.
I don't think it's possible. But yeah.
They need to merge with the BCS old system. It's time. The BCS problem was that they only had to pick 2 teams out of a bunch. Now we got 12. Merge with the BCS system and help these people, because the BCS is a robot and would probably still speak better than what we heard yesterday. And it's one of those things where that's the biggest portion of the CFP committee. Like, we need a transparent communicator on what the hell is going on, because that's why we didn't like BCS. We still don't have that. At least BCS.
Well, hold on. This is Hunter's first time.
That's true.
Foxy, what was your read? You watched a lot of his film to figure out which clips.
Yeah, I watched it last night. My only takeaway was I felt like he already knew the questions. Like, they told him, hey, we're going to ask you this, we're going to ask you this, we're going to ask you this. And he had all those answers canned, and there was no rebuttal on his answers. And that's why I felt like he already knew what he was being asked.
As a listen, I understand the rebuttal situation, especially in those conversations. We're not saying anything about Reese Davis at all. But
they're tight on time.
What we are saying is the way it's set up, I think Reese is the only one that's allowed to talk. I think that's a part of the entire deal. And it's like, I think the CFP committee understands that it's going to be loud no matter what we say. Mm-hmm. So let's just kind of get through this and then let's keep it moving. I do wish there was a little bit of pizzazz on that person. I do wish there was a little, hey, there's 12 people in here. Okay, so we're trying. Everybody has their own opinions. We thought Notre Dame, yeah, they lose that game. But how about how they win, though, this game? And then we think for Alabama, yeah, Florida State. Okay, they lost to Florida State. Look at Florida State. That's who they lost to. Yeah, they won 4 straight ranked games against top 20 teams that we viewed as top 20 teams. But they still showed up one time very early in the season, did it against Florida State. It's like if they just said that, I think we'd be like, okay, so this is what it is. But I don't think they can. I legitimately don't know what the right answer is for any of it.
No, and I give Mr. Yurchek, the benefit of the doubt a little bit, because I believe he is the AD at Arkansas, correct?
Woo pig.
Yeah, exactly. So he don't give a shit. Right now, he's up to his eyeballs trying to figure out who his next head football coach is going to be.
He cares.
You think he wants to talk about what's going on in all these other schools in the SEC? They're getting in. Meanwhile, he's thinking, Jesus Christ, they're throwing bricks through my window. They're putting for sale signs in my front yard, and I got to talk about how good Alabama is and Georgia and A&M.
Oh, you think he's miserable, not robotic?
I think so. I think all he's thinking about is, Jesus Christ, I am the AD at Arkansas, and we are so fucking far away from being in this conversation, and I got to get up here and talk about all my rivals and all these other people. I think he's up to his eyeballs, and he's just figuring, I just got to swim forward.
Whenever you see these CFP playoff predictions at this time of the season, obviously it's easy to say, none of this matters. None of this matters. None of this matters. It kind of does, though, whenever we start to get a sense of how the committee feels about certain teams and programs. Anything that kind of scared you about last night, or do you think all of this is going to play itself out because there's a lot of games left, and getting mad about this on this particular day is not maybe the best usage of your energy?
No, I mean, I understand people getting mad about this. I mean, being excited if you think you're up a spot or two more than you thought you would, or if you're slightly left out. I can see people and fan bases getting pissed, but we still have some time left. Teams can still figure it out. But yeah, that's a tough job for what Mr. what's his name again?
Hunter Yurachek, whooping.
Hunter Yurachek. You think they're just worried about saying, like, I don't know, do they think, like, misspeaking, so they want to make sure they have an idea and he doesn't just fly off the handles and say something crazy?
Yeah, maybe he doesn't know what the questions are, but understands the general basis of, and they all go through maybe what we're going to say to all these different things. It just, and maybe Ty's right. Maybe this guy's so miserable. Maybe this guy is just so miserable as he's talking, but it really felt like he was an authority on things and was stating things that were pieced together. And I'm not saying the previous chairs have been any better. I mean, there's no information normally coming out of this, but now they're starting to set a precedent a little bit, even with the new chair. We would like to wish them good luck, and all these teams have an opportunity to play themselves in or play themselves out, except for who? Ohio State?
Yep.
Indiana?
Yep.
Texas A&M?
Yep.
That's probably it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Georgia loses to Georgia Tech and then loses in the SEC championship. That'd give them 3 losses, which would probably be a big-time conversation.
That's the only thing, though. Did they have 3 last year when they lost the SEC title game, or when they won the? I forget what it was, but aren't they kind of going with the if you make it to the conference championship game with 2 losses and then you lose your conference championship game, it's going to be hard for them to eliminate those teams?
So that has not been officially placed in, but I think we all have kind of agreed that, like, hey, if you make it to the Big Ten champion or the SEC championship, there you should get a bid. Yes, because you. Yeah. And then, but they're like, we will maybe. Is what the CFP committee said last year, is like everything's taken into account, what teams are playing, what teams are not playing. They like never gave us an answer that like, yes, it's okay if you get in a loss in the championship, but it did worry a lot of college coaches like, well, the championship game is now not a good thing to go to because it might be a 3rd loss, and then all of a sudden you're being judged against the other 3 loss teams as opposed to SEC championship team. That's why the job is impossible. They opened this thing up to 16, like was allegedly being pitched. They opened up to 30. Like it's being pitched.
Don't do it.
It's going to be impossible no matter what it is. And how many teams can actually go and win the national championship? Let's head back to Hammer. Dahn, what do you got?
So I think actually with Georgia's situation, because one of Bama's losses is to Florida State, which is not in the SEC. So their conference loss would be to Oklahoma, and they have the head-to-head against Georgia. So I think even if Georgia wins out, as long as Bama wins out as well and A&M, it'll actually be A&M and Bama in the SEC championship, if I remember correctly, if I'm thinking correctly in that situation. I could be wrong, but Bama has the head-to-head advantage over Georgia right now, and they both only have 1 conference loss. So I think Georgia's actually going to be in a really nice spot where they just play the rest of their regular season out. Whatever happens in the SEC championship happens, and then things will fall as they fall.
So, Ton, are you saying those top 4 in, we think, regardless?
Yes.
Congratulations.
That's awesome.
Congrats.
I personally think Texas Tech is in as well. Well, wait, hold on. Let me clarify. I know they got to play.
They got West Virginia and Morgantown.
I know they got the Mountaineers next weekend. But if they take care of West Virginia, I don't see them dropping from 5
Kevin
to
Brown ain't
completely
walking through that door.
Yes, he is.
Not yet.
Yes, he is.
Really? You think, D-Butt? Really?
Hey, hard edge Scotty Fox. Have you had eyes on this Scotty Fox boy? Notre Dame gets a lot of eyes on him on a very regular basis, so people see their team where they're at, as opposed to watching film of these teams, which some of these CFP committee members probably have to do in the moment. It's like Notre Dame is being followed by everybody all the time. So when things are up and to the right, they're always going to get the benefit of the doubt, it feels like. Not saying it's right. It's just reality of the situation, D-Bud.
Absolutely. I love these conversations. I love talking about it. Look, UConn, we're a year away. We'll have a Heisman finalist with Joey Funano. We'll have a Biletnikoff Award winner. That's his name.
No, he doesn't even know.
Skylar Bell, wide receiver. But the thing I do get most excited about outside of the actual games, that song.
Well said.
Boom.
There's no way we're doing this again.
They had a lot more fun. Starting with 12, counting down to 1. That's how we crown a CFP national champion. That's how we crown a CFP national champion. Champs keep the dream alive. 1 through 4 get a first round bye. 5 to 8. She loves ball. 9 to 12. Winners move on and the crowds
As much as her.
Finals, New Year's 6.
Bowls on a rotating basis.
That's a bar.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
All-time favorite team. Somebody new bursting on the scene.
No one from the Sun Belt getting that.
Maybe. Counting down to 1. That's how we crown a CFP national champion. That's how we crown a CFP national champion. All right, we're done. We can't do
What?
that.
What?
I didn't know there was
What?
another-
I never see that part.
I didn't know there was
What
more.
the hell? Why
No,
are we stopping
we're
it?
done, we're done. I couldn't take it.
We
Great
need to see
reminder.
that. This is new. What is happening? Hold on.
More games and a lot more fun. Starting with 12,
Come down to one, and how we crown a CFP national champion.
Wait, we skipped the new stuff.
I
Go
thought
to
we
the
were
new
going back.
stuff.
I thought we were going back.
What the hell?
Didn't we all think we were going back?
Yeah.
Bruce didn't get it, and Bruce was done with it too. So maybe we'll catch you next time, boys. We got a lot of
Bruce.
time to shine. Okay?
It sucks.
No, we're just gonna be okay. We got a lot of time to do this.
When was that video released, and why did we not know about it?
Well, I think maybe it has been the entire time, and maybe
No.
No, we watched the whole thing. Yeah.
That's last year's.
That's bullshit,
No,
Dad.
Shut up,
That
Foxy.
had 30 seconds of additional content that we have never seen.
Nope.
before.
Show us that shit, man.
Right there. I've never seen any of
Here we go. Whoa. Here we go. Bar.
What? Get a shot. I mean, those college football fans were mind blown.
We need to listen to that 10 more times right now so we can memorize it.
They're definitely fans. That classroom looks like big fans.
That was
They are. They're mind blown. That was great. How did we miss it?
I am livid right
so
now.
they had a radio edit release that they put out.
Must have.
And then they
Commercial
decided
version.
to cut out that one? Yeah, right. We need that
Jim
one.
Cameron direct that thing? Honestly, that's
Yeah, and
amazing.
Hans Zimmer made the music.
Wait, there's a chance. I think Diplo even potentially touched that.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
now that we know more about AI, it feels like potentially.
Yeah, which
You
once
thinking
again,
AI's putting that together?
Hell no.
No way. No way.
We're not that advanced.
Starting with 12, counting down to 1.
I just
Computer ain't coming up with that.